Welcome to another Jungle Jargon Studies. Today we're going to look at the mtDNA, which is the mother to daughter lineages around the world, their progression. So let's see what we can do here. Should be able to see it still. Yeah, I like this map here out of all the maps I was looking at because it separates the N from the M and the L1, 2, and 3. I think there's more. But they appear to remain in Africa. So the descendants of the wife of Ham apparently went to Africa and stayed in Africa because there's no representation anywhere else in the world that I can find other than in recent history. So, which is a curiosity, but it is what it is, I suppose. Of course, the N is what went to Europe, basically. We have the R and the H and the J and the T and the U. This is all confusing, very confusing because they got the same letters of the, I guess some of the same letters of the Y chromosome, but with no relationship. Anyways, keep in mind, it's the mitochondrial DNA. And we have the separation of the N from the M. The M is exclusively a red color. Everything else is N. So that you have the red going all the way to Australia, all the way to Asia, North and Asia, and into North and South America. And the mysterious X appears in the New World for some reason. Probably because they came this way. They came from Europe, from what I understand, because we do have a lot of information of people traveling this way. I don't know if you aware of that. The series on TV called The Curse of Oak Island. They're discovering all kinds of artifacts and everything from Europe, of course. So that would explain the X, I'm guessing, that they found. Because it doesn't appear to have traveled all this distance the other way. So, and it is the mitochondrial, of course. Now, of course, in Africa, we got the two represented, the M and the N. Okay, I'm going to switch over to the other map now. This is basically the migration routes. If I switch to the other map, let's see if I can do that without too much trouble. If I can find it. Here we have the other map. As I said in the other video, we have a high concentration of everyone represented here, except of course the African DNA, which is a curiosity. And of course, the African would be the L1, 2, and 3. So that would be basically all of this color, the purple, yellow, and the beige, or whatever that color is, pink, beige, brown. So it'd be all of this, basically, this is all L, the mitochondrial DNA. Of course, this is from the outside, and of course, this would be from the outside too, outside coming in. So, but other than that, because we don't see this color yellow, this color beige, or this color purple in this region over here that I'm aware of. What is this? We got a purple here. Now, is it the same purple? No, it's not the same purple. Okay, it would be like an N. That might be the N right there. So, let me see. Oh, wait a minute. I messed up. I'm looking for the live stream. I don't have a share. Okay, starting over. This is the migration routes. We have the L concentrated in Africa exclusively. You have the N and the M that are separated, which makes it easier to understand. So all this red is the M going to the New World in South America, and to Australia, and to Asia. And the N would be everything else that's gray and dark to the New World, which is the mitochondrial DNA. This B, we don't know if it went this way over the Bering Strait, or if it went across the Pacific this way to the New World. This B, mitochondrial DNA. So, and of course, it went all around. So, let's see what else we have here. So yeah, so we go to this other map here, and it's showing exclusively the African mitochondrial DNA, the L1, 2, and 3, remaining in Africa. And if I can tell, this is a different shade of purple here. And of course the blue, these blues are not the same. And there's none of this color here or this yellow color here represented exclusively. So the descendants of the wife of Ham went exclusively to Egypt. And of course, Egypt was founded by Mitzrayim and his mother, whose name was Egyptus. So since Mitzrayim is the grandson, Egyptus was his mother, then his grandfather was Mitzrayim. His grandfather was Ham. So Ham, the wife of Ham, went exclusively to Egypt and remained in Egypt, or all the descendants of the wife of Ham, the mitochondrial descendants, and remained in Africa, while everyone else went elsewhere. But everyone originated from where the concentration of information is, in Turkey. And if we look at the Y chromosome chart, it says the same thing. It shows the same thing. This area of the Middle East, Turkey, and what would have been Babylon, of course, or the Tower of Babel and all that stuff. So everyone originated from here. They went to other places. The blue went over here. First the Africans went over here. The purple went over here. This color, purple went over here. Blues over here. So everyone went different directions. Red over here. Red concentrated over here. So we have the three main groups. This is what it is. It's the L, 1, 2, and 3. Then we have the M, C, Z, D, G, E, Q. Then you have the N, which I was showing in the other map, the N and the I, W, A. Of course, these letters, I don't know what, I guess they're made up or something. There's an HV and an H. Anyways, and I am H, HG3 or something like that. So, and that's represented by this blue over here in Europe, or in England, even Iceland, England, Norway, Sweden, Finland. Well, not so much Finland, I guess. Well, a little bit over here, southern. Anyway, so I guess that's about it. Because it's not going to be as long a study as the Y chromosome. But this is interesting. Over here we have the Eskimos are primarily the U are the Iceland and whatnot, as they say, and what have you. Okay, and the greens over here. The greens are, this light green is T, or is it? No, it's M. And M would be the Japhethite wife. N would be the Semitic wives, or wife, apparently. So we do have another chart, and that would be this one here. This is the new chart from Answers in Genesis, I guess. They have this chart. These lines represent quote unquote age. Of course, it's not age. We know it's not age because everybody is the same age. It's just genetic different distance, or genetic distance, I guess that would be, which is interpreted to be a different age. But how can it be this different age when everybody's the same age? Because these over here are no different ages than these over here. It's just that they had a faster mutation, a faster duplication rate, basically. In other words, they married 15 to 19, apparently, according to the study. So that explains the apparent genetic distance, or age, quote unquote age, which is not an age because everybody's the same age, obviously. It's just the genetic distance, quote unquote distance, or because of the different rate of multiplication or duplication. So what I'm supposing is this one over here, I'm guessing, is the M, and this one here, I'm guessing, is the N, because the N splits off into the L. Okay, I don't know why they don't label these as what they are with the mitochondrial. I was trying to determine which is which. It doesn't seem to indicate. But of course, we can locate at some of these branches. Let's just go ahead and see what this says here. The node for the primary sub-Saharan sub-Saharan African individuals. So this central one, the one in the middle, would be the sub-Saharan African mitochondrial DNA. Okay, and of course we have a whole bunch of short ones like this, and then we have a whole bunch of longer ones like this. And the longer ones were due to faster reproduction, apparently. And the nodes primarily non-African, North African individuals. Oh, no wonder. It only considers the non-African, North African individuals. Okay, that explains it, I guess. So these are basically all African. Well, non-African, North African. No, that would be the other groups. So the green block arrows mark the locations of the three major nodes, which would be the three wives of the three sons of Noah. Branches between nodes leading to Taiwanese, Aborigines, or San individual is whatever in length, nucleotides in length. Taiwanese, Aborigine, that would be indigenous person. Gold arrows mark and other lines mark the locations of the individuals with shorter branch lengths from the primary sub-Saharan African node. Okay, we know that. Blue arrows and underlinings mark the locations of the 6 South African individuals. Okay, so these are South African individuals. These 2 over here and these 4 over here are South African individuals. Just that they have a different genetic difference. Now we can zoom in on some of these, I guess, if we want, which makes it interesting, I guess. Okay, that's the maximum. So we get an idea, because I was wondering why not everybody was not represented in this graph here, this chart, or this whatever it is, this map, because you have basically North Africans and maybe Italy and Spain represented here. You got Native American, Taiwan Aborigines, Spain, Morocco, Ethiopia, Tunisia, Central Italy, Canary Islands, Pakistan, Dutch. Of course, the Dutch one is short. Israel, Druze, Jordan, Sicily, Ethiopia, Jew, Nigerian element. Okay. Yeah, this would be, of course, mitochondrial, but it seems like this is the M branch. Well, this other one would be the N branch. And okay, we had a South African. Of course, see, this is a short one here. Does that mean that his lineage is less less old? Well, it's just as old. It's just a different genetic distance. But everybody tested is just as old, has a lineage that's just as old as the next one, of course. So if you want to determine the age, it's subject to a lot of preconceptions. There was one here I noticed here. There's Guarani. This is South American Indian. You got Georgia Indian. Got Okay, you got Filipino with an F. I guess that's how you spell it in English. Or, no, that's how you spell it not in English, I guess. Okay, just to get an idea, this might be the L branch. We got Italy, Egypt, Coptic Christian, Sardinia, Central Italy, Israel, Jews, Druze, Morocco. So this apparently is just Africa, North Africa, in the area around surrounding, which would be Italy, Spain, and places like that. I guess Espírito Santo is Brazil, I guess. Doesn't say. New Britain, I think it's like Papua New Guinea or someplace. New Britain. Aborigine. What kind of Aborigine? I don't know. Anyway, I guess that gives us an idea what's going on. So, anything else we got here? That's the original, I guess, secular evolutionist worldview. Okay, we looked at this. And we also looked at this. So if you did a mitochondrial test, which I didn't do a mitochondrial test, but my cousins did, so I kind of didn't have to do it. So, and it turns out I'm an H, which is unique to this area here. Yeah, it's just the curious thing is that the L went to Africa and stayed in Africa, and everybody else spread out in different directions, pretty much. And in Australia, you have the P, I guess, and the N, which is in anyway. So, and red is in. Anyways, this is kind of more or less, might not be 100%, right, but gives you an idea. Different people, different places. Everybody's concentrated here in the Turkey area of Turkey and Babylon and stuff like that, because that's where people, the cradle of civilization, because that's where the ark landed. So it confirms the biblical timeline, and especially with the study of answers in Genesis, they proved that apparently there was a faster birth rate. The people that they were in these lineages here, they married between 15 and 19 years old, so they have a faster or greater genetic distance, I guess, is what it is. So, and it fits the timeline. Mitochondrial DNA, I think, is pretty hard for evolutionists to explain the mutation rate, because the mutation rate fits very well with the biblical timeline. And, of course, all of the DNA fits with the fits with the biblical account of everybody in the central regions, starting out in the central region. And of course, no Africans went to South America because the continents broke apart 100 years after the global flood, while the animals did make it to South America because the animals weren't building the Tower of Babel. People spent 100 years trying to build the Tower of Babel, and then the continents were divided. They were traumatized, separated into their families, began speaking their own languages, and separated, went out throughout the world. So that's why you'll never see the Hamites in South America, except with the exception of the C Hamite that went, the Y chromosome C that went the other way, went all the way across the Bering Strait into North America and South America. It ended up in the northern part of South America because he went the other way, obviously, and didn't go to Africa, of course. The Y chromosome of C and D is not represented in Africa because they went the other way. So they didn't even come out of Africa, which is more evidence. Now, let me see if I'm neglecting people that are watching. I got comments here. Hey, Wildheart is here, standing for truth. Amen, brother. mtDNA proves creation timescale and not evolutionary timescale, nor evolution in general. Wildheart is here. Let me see if I can go ahead and stop sharing. So yeah, that's the standing for truth. mtDNA proves the creation timescale, not the evolutionary timescale, nor evolution in general. And it's pretty hard for evolutionists to explain the genetic distance, So then we have Wildheart says hi. Answers in Genesis. Well, at least it's from an unbiased source. Yeah, it's from an honest source. How about that? That's a lot of lines for 6,000 years. Well, they're different lines, though. I mean, it's not really a lot of lines. It's just if you study the duplication rates, it doubles every time you reproduce. It doubles, And when two people have 5 kids, and those 5 kids have 5 kids, it compounds pretty fast. So that in 100 years you could have thousands of people, of course. So yeah, I guess that's about it for the mitochondrial DNA study so far. Until further notice, until we learn some more. And so remember to tell the truth, be honest, like answers in Genesis, be honest, truthful, don't lie, don't exaggerate like the evolution. Every claim of evolution has been disproved, it's always disproved. So whenever you hear a claim made, oh, they found a missing link, no, it's going to be disproved, don't worry. It's always disproved. And they never had a valid claim anyway, to begin with. And they still push it. They still push it because they don't want to believe the truth. The media pushes it. The educational system pushes it. All right, Wildheart, I'll see you. I'll see you later. So the only reason why evolution is standing is because they're holding it up. Like, they're just holding it up, a dead theory, a dead belief. So The Bible is always true, always will be true. Only your Maker can be your Savior. He's the only one that can perfectly cover for you himself and remake you again by the power of his true word. He washes you, cleanses you from the inside out, and sanctifies you so that you can be blameless.